Hey, how are y'all doing tonight? This is the Rule of Thirds. This is Nate, Chris, and Brennan. How are y'all doing tonight?
What's up? What's up?
What
What's up?
what's up, guys? How's it
And,
going? How are you guys doing today?
and today we are here to talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier, episode 6, the last
Episode
episode of
C8.
season 1. Hopefully, there is a second one. That would be dope.
Man, Nate, I say it again. Say it again for people in the back. I hope there is a
I'm
second
hoping.
one.
I like it.
So, so not to spoil anything, but like literally 10 minutes before we started talking, and I guess it was released yesterday, maybe. I'm not exactly
Hmm.
sure. Somebody fact check me.
Fact
But
checking right now.
Captain America 4 is already in the works, and a lot of people, not a lot of people, what I heard, I'll just say
Uh-huh.
that Falcon is now the new Captain America.
Oh, I,
So,
I, I see. It's
so
crazy. After the end of episode 6, I kind of knew that was going to be a thing. I was like, they're going to
So
come
Yeah,
out with a new
the way
movie. It's going
that
to be,
yeah.
yeah.
So I guess what I'm saying is, if there isn't a sequel series to this particular show, then that new Captain America movie that will be the continuation of this story. And
I
and
can
I
see it.
like I said, I found that out. I was watching the review, and they just said, yeah, it's confirmed that Captain America 4, with Sam Wilson, um, being the new Captain America. So
I see that here.
we may not get a sequel series, but I'm certain we'll get that continuation of the story. Hopefully, I'm with you guys. I definitely want there to be a
I would love
a
it.
second or a sequel to the series.
See,
I
the
would love
But
it.
yeah,
crazy thing is, I also heard that a second season is also in the works. I don't know if that is true or
I'd be
not.
cool with both. I'd be
I
cool with
would be
both.
cool with both, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
All right.
I'd be cool with both.
1 second, guys.
100%.
My camera's gonna disconnect real quick so I can clear it up.
That's all good. Um,
You're good, Nate.
There we go. Beautiful.
what was it? I know that there was an interview or talk with Sebastian Stan, and he didn't know of any sort of, but this was a while ago. So,
Mm.
as a lot of things happen, it's based off of the success of one. It may lead into another,
Mm.
but
Oh, you know
um,
Marvel got him
you
on a
know,
scope from a
yeah,
distance. He can't say
yeah.
nothing.
So,
You know they got him
uh,
on a scope from a
True.
distance. You
wait,
just see
so
you just see the little laser on their face.
that's
He's
messed
just
up.
like,
They
oh,
got,
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard about
uh,
anything.
you
they
see
got,
some,
they got
you
the,
see some maybe Disney's egg in the background, just like,
Tom Holland's just the only one who they just seem to miss for some reason. They just can't get him. They've tried, but
So let's just go ahead and dive into this episode, man. What did y'all think? Are we out with any surprises, any disappointments? We talked a lot about, what we thought we were going to see, last week when we did episode 5. But tell me what you guys thought.
I'll go first this time.
go ahead, Nate.
I my favorite episode actually so far of the season. It was the last episode. Who would have guessed?
Episode 5.
Yep,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely,
I
hundred
agree. I
percent.
agree. I agree.
I felt like they somehow wrapped up a lot of things. There were some things that I wasn't a big fan of how it got wrapped up. The first one being the power broker.
Mm,
Man, they
yeah,
had to go there. Had to
yeah.
go
But
there.
other than that, I was
Well,
really happy.
hang on. Tell me. Come on, man. You
Look,
seem like
it
you
was
got some
like
raw emotion there.
it was
You
like
know I got stuff. You know I
with
got
all
stuff
the
to say
build
about
up
this, Chris.
to the power broker for it to just be Carter there. I was just like, really, like I was hoping they were gonna introduce someone like a new big bad or something like that. But I'm just like, it's Sandra Carter. Like it's not that she's not like she can't be like a good villain or something like that. I mean, she's super capable and all, and like, but it's just like
100%.
it's just like damn. I was hoping for a big reveal,
hmm
and she like wasn't that big reveal.
Right.
But other
See,
than that, yeah, the rest of the episode I found very very dope. I like uh, what's it called? Walker. I
Mm.
like that he was in this episode. I actually didn't think if you go back to last review, I didn't think he was gonna really be in this episode, but
Mm-hmm.
he's recovered his arm and stuff like that. Like I don't remember if Super Soldiers heal really really quickly or not, but like I guess
Mm-hmm.
maybe, or I don't know how long ago this has been since he lost his shield and everything like that. Like if there was any time gap or weeks or days or whatever, so on and so forth. So it may have been like a couple of weeks or so since that last. And he had that fake shield, like, but at the end of the day, he finally he had the opportunity of probably killing Carly or rescuing all those people, and for the first time, like he made like the Captain America decision, and
Mm-hmm.
then upon making that decision, he Bucky was more willing to help him. Like everybody was suddenly more willing to help him, and I think he suddenly caught on to that even towards the end of it when he was trying to make puns and stuff with Bucky talking about Captain America, Abraham Lincoln. It's a great pun. He was like, not when you say it, but he found his niche which isn't necessarily being Captain America.
Mm.
You can
Okay.
be your. I mean, I guess at the end of the thing, he's U.S. agent now,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like he was never 100% attached to the shield itself. Like I don't feel like that was he really ever took. It was more like the title of being a Captain America than the shield. Like I feel like the
Mm-hmm.
shield is just a part of the title, and that's all he felt about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, upon getting a new title, his all his own. I feel like his whole thing, even with the Captain America, he's just like whatever at this
Yeah.
point in time. So I like that he found some closure, and now he can go on to be whoever he is, whether he's a villain or a anti-hero or a hero, whatever is going to happen. Like he can evolve on his own character now going forward. Like
Mm-hmm.
uh, I liked it. How Sam took over the Captain American mantle and how he kind of combined the whole the Falcon aspect and the Captain American aspect
I loved it.
to his
I loved it.
stuff because he's not a super soldier.
I wonder why your daddy's.
1 second.
I loved it. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. And that's pretty much it for me, about this episode.
Yeah.
Mm.
Y'all go ahead.
Brandon, what about you, bro?
Yeah, I got a lot to say about this episode.
Go ahead.
This episode.
Go ahead.
They put a WandaVision on us. They pulled a WandaVision on us.
Okay, go ahead.
They pulled a WandaVision on us. All right. I loved everything about Falcon Winter Soldier. Absolutely everything. Episode 6 was honestly I'm gonna be honest, I think it was my favorite episode.
Okay.
This was a wonderful episode. The reason why I say they put a WandaVision on us because from the beginning, right? Sorry. They kept talking about this power broker. They have this in the end credits, they have power brokers watching. You go to Madripoor. They're like, oh, you don't want to mess with the power broker, all this other stuff. And I'm okay with it being I'm not I would have liked if it was somebody else other than Sharon Carter. It's not horrible that it's her. I wish they would have brought someone another MCU villain or someone that's that could classify that kind of level of power that they were having. You know what I mean? It just I didn't expect it from Sharon to be Sharon as how much as they were hyping it up. Even when in the scene when they were at the docking lot and they were fighting the bad guys, she made it seem like she a power broker's not gonna be happy you just killed the scientist. When you're talking about yourself, it just felt so weird. But yeah, that was the main reason why it was just weird because I remember when they killed the scientist and like she was just like, oh, like, you know, you killed like the person who was making Winter Soldier serum. Like, it's Power Brooks not gonna be happy about this, and like it was just her the whole time. Like it just felt weird, and I didn't really like that. It was kind of odd, and like I say it because of WandaVision, because it's just like, oh, we're all saying Mephisto and all this, and like all these people, and it just ends up being like just Wanda's just OP as heck, and like she just you know, but that's why I say that. But other than that, episode 6. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I loved the combination of Falcon, like his old suit, and using Captain America's shield, how he utilized it. Like it felt like he had it for years. Honestly, I was seeing him do stuff that like I've never even seen Steve do with the shield.
Right.
It was just amazing to see. And episode 6 is like the part when, like, you know, he's in front of the TV and like everyone's seeing him, and like he's just announcing everything, and he's just talking about what the world needs to do and what the world should do to solve the problem, and making Carly not be like this villain in the eyes of the public, and like make it seem like, hey, like, listen, she has a point. She just went about it the wrong way. Like, you know, you guys have to, like, you know, and it made it just really tackle a real world issue that's going on, where like you have people in power making decisions, but there's no one who's actually impacted by those decisions in the room. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like no one's like, you know, like you're making decisions on people that like you're not even going through you don't even know what they actually need. Like you're not even talking to those people. And like that was just like really hit hard, and like it was like I loved it. I loved seeing like Bucky come clean, you know, just like get it all off his chest, give the book back, tell the doc thanks, appreciate it, and start living his life normally, man. Like that was like, I just loved it. I loved it. And like the ending scene, I thought it was still good. I thought it was gonna be interesting setting up Sharon Carter as like a bad guy. That's gonna be very interesting going forward. So like overall, it was just a wonderful episode. I loved it.
Good. Yeah. Everything you guys have said, I agree with. You know, I guess I have, you know, my own takeaways. And Brennan, I think you said it best. They in a way they did kind of pull a WandaVision, you know, with this sort of hidden figure in the shadows, pulling the strings, who is it kind of thing, and
Agnes all along.
Yeah, and you know, I think it's funny. My dad, he was like, Chris, he was like, you know, because he's a loyal subscriber of our channel. He was like, did you guys? So how come you guys didn't think it could be, you know, Sharon Carter? And I was like, I don't think we ever ruled it out. I just think we were hoping it would be something. maybe hoping it wasn't. We were just hoping. Brent, I think you said the Mandarin. I think I said you know, Thunderbolt Ross. You know, I've struck out twice.
Ross like had
I've struck out twice with Thunderbolt Ross now. So
Thunderbolt Ross was Doctor Strange in this episode, in this series.
Yeah. You know, but I think even in WandaVision, I said Thunderbolt Ross was somehow in control. So I've struck out twice with him. But anyway, and this, you know, but after thinking about it, I'm okay with it being Sharon Carter for one specific reason, and I think, you know, not to try and pick Marvel's brains, but I think I know the reason why they picked her. You know, we've seen her in other movies, and you know, this essentially kind of, you know, low level kind of character, and a good guy, if you will. But to see her now with this sort of dualism, good person, but bad person, anti-hero, you know, I think that's one of the things, especially going forth with the Thunderbolts, we're going to hear a lot. You know, U.S. Agent,
Zemo.
Yeah, Zemo.
Which he's a savage, by the way. The way he just took out those freaking flag smashers, like.
So I think giving her that sort of dualism and playing both sides will lead into us seeing more characters with that sort of anti-hero kind of moniker, where they're not really good, they're not really bad. You know, they may have a code, they may have a specific code. There's a line they won't cross, The Punisher is in a lot of ways like that. He's that one kind of anti-hero kind of thing, but he has a code. You know what I mean? So I'm okay with it being Sharon Carter. Yes, it would have been awesome to see, something else, someone else, maybe someone who we had maybe
Thunderbolt Ross would have
rumored
been cool.
rumored to hear, something. You know what I mean? Because there's a little things now. You go back and you're right. The scene with her beating up essentially her own guys on the dock and killing the scientist, or the scientist being killed. Now it's like, okay, was she that deep undercover that she's literally fighting her own goons? You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, aren't these your own people?
Yeah. So it's kind of weird, but okay, whatever,
And it's do they not know you're the power broker? Do you have some
That's what I'm saying. Was she that deep undercover that her own goons don't even know who she is? You know what I mean?
Right. In a way, I mean, it makes sense because it's just how would she have survived in Madripoor the whole time without her being some significant figure?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was just that scene just made me that was the scene that made me feel oh, she's definitely not the power breaker program.
Right.
After what she did, and then I'm just huh, what? But
it's also because I mean, in the scene that she was revealed, she was kind of goofy in the scene too. That kind of made me mad. Definitely with dudes stuck up on her. I want double the money now. I don't like being betrayed. She just attempted to shoot him all casually, got shot.
I wasn't.
She's I don't like being blackmailed or something. Shot him. I was just
you don't seem super threatening. Damn, kind of goofy.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan how they did my man.
I wonder how she communicates to her goons with a voiceover. This is the power broker. How does she talk to them? part of me still feels like she's not even the power broker. The reason why I say this is because he says he's hey, so yo the power broker, and then she's didn't say anything. She didn't really say yes or no. I mean, she just kind of was just I don't like being blackmailed and shot him. So maybe she's not she never confirmed yes or no. But Carly seemed okay, was hinting at it. But what if she's not? Maybe she was just she didn't answer yes or no necessarily.
And to your point, who was she talking to at that end credit scene?
Exactly. I still don't. I think Marvel wants us to think she's the power broker, but I don't think she is. I still don't think she is. I still don't think she is.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm
working for them, but for him. And always addressed as him, so I don't think she's a power broker now. Now that we're talking about this,
like I said, I don't hate it. I like the fact that I think that opens the door for us to accept characters that are both playing both sides. Zemo, Walker, now Sharon Carter. I'm okay with that. I am. Hopefully we get more characters. I don't know what we're going to see in Black Widow. Maybe there's some more characters. I heard there may even be some twist with Taskmaster. He's maybe one of those anti-heroes kind of things. You know what I mean? So I'm super cool with that. I love that whole ideology with the anti-hero. Where they're bad, but they're good. You know what I mean? They have a code, and so I'm definitely cool with that. But as far as the whole episode, I enjoyed it. As far as the timeline, I mean, he gets that briefcase, from Wakanda, and his boy, from the military calls him. He's like, "Yeah, I'll be right there." So I don't know if there's a whole lot of time between when they take the ship. Well, yes, there is, because you see his whole little training montage. So there is some time in there for Walker's arm to heal. There is, and that was one thing I was happy to see, was kind of him come back, because I had a feeling. That's why I said it last week. I had a feeling that he wants revenge for his boy. No, he showed up with that tinfoil shield, and
I think so quick.
Yeah. But I did. I like. I mean, he felt like, I guess part of a team again. You see the three of them working together. I really wasn't a fan of the whole like buddy. There was way too much like they were like patting each other on the back
100%.
and stuff. And I was just
I'm
like,
like, yo,
like it was cool. I get it, but like, hold on, like when did we become boys?
I'm with you, Chris. I was like that.
And to my point, stuff like that takes away from that sort of anti-hero stuff. Like I would have loved for them to like maybe have words or get into it and hey, let's just finish this and we'll deal with our issues at another time. I would have loved for something like that.
Right,
but them like patting each other on the back and all, like I wasn't a fan of that.
He never
Right.
brought
Like,
up the shield.
didn't you just like
he just
break
handed
your
over,
arm a couple days ago? Like,
he handed over the Captain America moniker with like literal no problem. Like,
Now I was going to say, Nate, I think maybe that was something why you started to see a lighter side of him because the pressure was off of him. You know, the pressure was off of him, but at the same time he came dressed up like Captain America.
Hey, I mean,
you know what I mean?
Like that was the only suit my man really had.
Like I would have loved. I said it last week. I would have loved for him to show up in like his army get up fatigues or something like that. That would have been dope. You know what I mean? Just kind of drop the whole Captain America thing. And then you saw how excited he was at the end, where he was like, "Oh, it's just like the Captain America suit, but it's black." Like you saw how excited he was. Like so,
Right.
I don't know. There's some confusion there. Let me think. I loved the stuff with Isaiah Bradley was probably my favorite stuff.
I'm glad
that's probably my favorite stuff. And not to skip over, Falcons or Sam scene Captain America scene. We'll just call it that now. His scene there, with the news cameras rolling. That was some powerful stuff. That was stuff that needed to be said. That stuff that kind of rings bells, in our own.
Claps to Marvel, man.
Yeah.
Doing this, man. They're really like, they're doing a good job for what they're doing with this. But it hit a lot of social things, social issues and things that are going on right now in the world. You know what I mean? I think we kind of talked about it, or one of us said it in one of the other videos where in a lot of ways it felt like you were watching Black Panther. You know what I mean? You kind of had that, those social things that kind of strike a nerve with you. So that was powerful stuff. His back and forth with the people who are in power and hey, you guys now know what it feels like to be in a difficult situation, and it's not something that you run from, but you understand it. You know what I mean? I love him talking about you don't want to see he said the line he said you have as much power as a insane God who wants to end the world and a misguided teenager. He said you have the same power. Now what are you going to do with it? You know what I mean? There was some real poignant stuff with what he was saying. But yeah, that's the stuff with Isaiah Bradley. I think as I look back on the series, and I know we'll probably have that conversation soon here, but I think that by far that whole dynamic with Isaiah Bradley was probably my favorite thing about the series. And then again in this episode, it was my favorite. That scene at the end damn near brought tears to my eyes. I tried to even pause it because you see like the little like paragraph of what was said.
Yeah. Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know what I mean? And to see like his face in there with his grandson, you see, the talks with him and Sam, were awesome. But yeah, that's that's kind of the biggest takeaways I have of episode 6. There was a lot of metaphorical things. I kind of saw the scene where the truck's about to fall off the building and Walker grabs it first to try and save the people. His one attempt to kind of redeem himself, and then he essentially fails because people kind of attack him and jump on him, and then. So you saw his failure as Captain America, and then you see the new Captain America push the truck up from the front. You know what I mean?
First you see the shield.
And, yeah, right. Yeah, you see the shield first. So, good episode. With Bucky, not to leave him out. It's in a lot of ways it's not hard. but it's crazy because I was such a fan of Captain America and the Winter Soldier, and to see Bucky. I mean, so many things changed with that. Sorry, my damn Google started talking for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway,
My camera.
so many things changed with that movie. You know, whether the fight scenes, just the fact that was the Russo brothers taking over essentially and carrying, essentially the Marvel franchise. But every time I look back at Bucky, part of me wants to see like that kind of grit and like savage he was as the Winter Soldier. So it's kind of like I'm glad to see him getting on with his life and happy and all that kind of stuff. But part of me is just like, man, I just want him to like rip somebody's face. Yeah, I mean, like I just want him to like just be, and he still is a beast. He is, But it is good to see him kind of make amends. That scene was tough, when he goes and sees his friend and tell him that he was the one that killed his son. I would have liked to see more of that scene. I mean, it was emotional, but I would have liked to have seen like more.
For
you
sure.
know what I mean?
For sure.
And then the family scene at the end was dope. Them just kind of being a family and being happy. You know what I mean? That was cool. That was cool. Good episode. It was definitely a good episode. I asked earlier, was there any other surprises or any other disappointments you guys had? Yes, there was the whole Sharon Carter thing, but anything else?
I thought it was interesting. I don't fully remember her name, but the person that was talking to Walker like at the end, she's just like
Val.
Val, right? Val, or we can't really call her Val. She doesn't really like that, but she kept like talking about like, oh yeah, things are gonna change. Like we won't really need a Captain America anymore. Like I want to know what she has planned. I thought that was very surprising. Like she seems like she just has like just this knowledge above everybody else for some reason. And I want to know, like, it's just surprising that like she's setting up something, and I just kind of want to know what it is. But that was like I think I highlighted for me. I think
she's partly setting up the Thunderbolts.
Okay, right. That's where I think she's leads. I think her. I'm sorry, Nate. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's gonna like lead to Zemo getting out. Like, I think she's just gonna lead to a whole bunch of other things. I think she's gonna end up kind of forming the Thunderbolts and having that whole undercover kind of agent squad going on. Where she's like, yeah, we don't need a Captain America, or they have their own things, kind of getting things done their way, behind closed doors. Like, I think that's just kind of where she's leading up to. Like, I feel like if there is a Captain America and the Winter Soldier season 2, or if there is a Captain America 4 movie, I feel like she'll play a big role in those, and you will get more into her character as to what she's up to. We may even see her in actually Black Widow. She may be.
What makes you say that?
Because if she has anything to do with even Hydra or something like that, we may get a younger Val.
Okay.
In the movies.
Okay.
I can see it.
That'd be cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think that I'm pretty sure they said Black Widow and this are somewhat linked, either like prequel or something like. So there may be linked characters. I feel like she would probably be one of those characters. Like,
yeah, I heard that too. That there was some connection with Falcon and Winter Soldier and Black Widow. So it'll be when's that movie? Is that next month or May?
May. I think. Or is it July? Month. What? With Black Widow? Is it May?
That was
July.
It's before Loki, right?
July 9th.
Well, what the hell? What's in May? Okay, maybe Loki's in May. Okay.
Loki's in June. I think Bad Batch is
okay.
in May.
All right. I'm tripping, y'all. I'm sorry. I got everything. I got everything. I got everything mixed up. But yeah, I definitely heard that too. That there's a connection between this and um, Black Widow. So it'll be interesting to see that.
Is Robert Downey Jr. in Black Widow?
So I did hear that he has a cameo. But remember now, because this takes place right after Civil War.
Right. Okay.
So he's still alive during this. Yeah, I heard in the beginning. I heard there's a real quick cameo.
Because I just saw the cast and I was like, huh?
Yeah. There's a cameo in it. You know. But yeah, man. Episode 6. I'm trying to think. It seemed like, it was almost like in a lot of ways kind of like the first episode where you had a lot of the action. But there were some important, dramatic parts. I love the scene where he calls a woman on her phone and says, "Hey, I heard you can fly a helicopter."
I know.
This is what we're about to do.
Yeah.
And he takes Judah out to sea. But it's hard to like really talk about the action stuff, other than the fact of like, oh, this was cool, this was decent. But I think all the important talking points, finding out. You know what? I'll say this. You know who I really, really enjoyed in this episode, and I think throughout the whole thing, and we'll talk about that soon, I'm sure. But I like Carly. The girl who played her, I did. I enjoyed it. I was kind of bummed when she died. I was kind of bummed. Like I was hoping.
Yeah, I was kind of sad. Just a little bit.
Maybe she would end up on the raft with Zemo. You know what I mean? I had a feeling she was going to die. I kind of said Walker would be the one to kill her. To essentially.
She died very brutally too. It was so.
Yeah, it wasn't. Dang. When she was fighting, Sam and
text.
When she was fighting Sam, that was an emotional scene. It was, he was, he kept asking her. He was like, "Hey, what's next after this? How far are you going to take this? And she wanted him to fight back, and he didn't want to. That was a cool scene. That was. I enjoyed that. But I was kind of bummed when she died. I was like, "Damn."
Me too.
There was one like helpless, one person tried to help, and wasn't able to. Fell short. So
if only Walker let him talk to her.
What'd you say?
If only Walker let him talk to her.
Yeah,
I
feel like this time we should have been too, but I feel like Sharon was low key concerned. Like she made it seem like I killed her because I was concerned about your life. Like no, she knew I was a power broker, and I didn't want her to tell you that. Which I was kind of mad that you should have, like, she didn't just snitch it before she died. Like, you had a few seconds. You know, like, I'm sorry. Like, you should have said, she's the power broker, like her right there, who I was looking for. Her. She shot me. No. Like, yeah, that, like, but, I mean, I guess that's the setup for, for her to get into power and, be the villain.
And like I said, it'll be interesting to see what they do with that character. She's real bent, I guess, for being, outed or cast off as a fugitive, and having to leave, America and start up her own sort of empire as a power broker in Madripoor. But it'll be interesting because I still don't think like she's just out to like get people. Like there has to be something like motivating her, or there has to be some sort of cause. You know what I mean? Like I generally think when she was being pardoned and given her old position back, I generally believe like she was happy. Like you saw her crying.
Oh, for sure.
I generally believe she was happy. You know what I mean? I love how they even brought up her family lineage. You know what I mean? She's what, the granddaughter or great niece or something like that of Peggy Carter.
Granddaughter, I believe. Or no, great niece. Yeah.
Is that what it is? Great niece, something like that. So
yeah, I think it's niece.
I love how they kind of tied that in. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Like I said, at first I was just like, but like I said, I'm okay with it. I am. I'm okay with it. You know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, ultimately, I'm okay with it. I mean, I think it's
yeah.
interesting. Like I said, I think the build up to see what's going to happen is interesting. Like,
Mhm.
is she going to infiltrate it? Is she going to like be torn? Because I think she genuinely was happy. I think she genuinely did appreciate like Sam being able to do that for her.
Absolutely.
So it's gonna be interesting to see the torn between that she might have between picking, which side, and especially if Sam finds out too. So it'll be interesting for sure.
Trying to think. Well, I mean, it's hard to, normally we kind of wrap these things up with what do we think we're going to see next? The series is over. Um, I know there's a lot we would like to see next if it comes in a movie or if they do a second series. But I think this is probably a good place to end it, and then we'll try and figure out how we do like a series recap, and really kind of dive into the series and then look at it as a whole from what may come or how we feel as a whole um, about the whole series. So, what else you guys have to add?
I think that's it for this review. I mean,
Yeah,
I think we covered it pretty well this time, actually.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Episode 6 was good. Like I said, me, my favorite stuff was with Isaiah Bradley.
It was
That
a
that
good
scene
one.
at the end was by
I
far
teared
my
up a little
favorite
bit. I teared
part.
up a little bit.
Yeah,
100%,
absolutely.
100%. When he gave him that hug, when he was like, "Oh yeah, no, it takes me a lot to get moved," and then like, when he gave him that hug, I was like, "Ah, man, that was it right there."
You know, and I think Sam said, he goes, yeah, now they'll never. He said, now they'll always know, or now they'll never forget. Which
Mm-hmm.
you did. So, um, yeah, I don't have anything else to add, guys. I think that's a good place to end it. Stay tuned. There will be a series review probably coming sooner rather than later on the entirety of the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. So stay tuned for
Yes.
that.
Stay tuned.
Feel free to comment, like, subscribe. Um, Not only with the coming of a series recap of this series, but a couple minutes ago I lost my train of thought. But there's still so much more for us to talk about with
Yes, sir.
Black Widow, Loki, Mortal Kombat. Bad Batch is coming, so there's a lot more coming. Stay tuned for that, guys. Anything else you want to add?
Thank you. Anybody and everybody who watches our videos, thank you very much. Just remember, please like and subscribe if you haven't. Then y'all have a good night.
Thank you guys for watching. So we'll see you guys very, very soon. Thank you for all the support. Continue to support us. More stuff coming soon.